Okay, welcome back. I decided after so many of you had commented on what I did for component 1, not all of it flattering, I decided we'd have a quick look at paper 2 or component 2 GCSE exam paper. There's not as many clips for this, but I think they will be kind of slightly longer. Your second exam is called paper 2 UK geographical issues, and a lot of the same things that I said before apply, but there are some very noticeable and very important differences on this second exam. Equipment is the same, you know, we need black pen, we need calculator, long ruler would be an incredibly good idea. You can also, I believe, take a protractor, not entirely sure what you do with it, but take one nonetheless. This exam covers topics 4, 5 and 6. Just to recap your memories, 4 was UK physical, which is basically going to be answered in section A. 5 was UK human, which is going to be answered in section B. And then your field work, and I'm going to come back to this very confusing bit in a minute, is C1, C2. The timing of the sections is slightly different. So although the exam paper is an hour and a half long, it's not as nice and even as the last one, which was half an hour a section. I would probably, I think, divide my time and work on the ratio of a mark a minute. Section A and section B are worth 27 marks each, so I would spend 27 minutes on A and 27 minutes on B. There are 4 extra marks available, I think, for spelling, punctuation and grammar on B. We'll come back to that later on. And your 2 fieldwork questions are 18 marks each. Okay, so if you work on the principle of a mark a minute, you should have plenty of time. People did find they were really pushed for time in this exam, and via the internet there was some discussion about whether the exam board were going to allow you to actually have more time on this exam. If it does happen, then obviously we'll talk you through that. Right, really important bit. Questions here. C1 and C2. We did 2 bits of field work. Section C1 is all about physical field work. Question 8 is coastal field work. Question 9 is rivers. You are going to do question 9. We did not take you to a coast. There was no seaside at Cardingmill Valley, there was no sand, there were no seagulls. By no stretch of the imagination did we take you to the seaside. Do not, repeat, do not answer this question. Likewise with C2, question 10 is urban. We did urban field work. Question 11 is rural. We did not do rural. I know Romsley may have looked a little bit rural, but you know, there weren't like fields full of cows in the middle of Ladywood, okay? Now, the reason I'm saying this is because last year, 22 people, 22 year 11s decided to answer the lot. I don't know how they managed that in the time. They certainly didn't do it very well. You'll see when I open up the exam paper, it's even more confusing, and you've got to be really careful. That's question 8. Coasts. We didn't do coasts field work, but question 9, rivers field work, looks identical. The urban questions are exactly the same. Sorry, the human fieldwork questions are exactly the same. The urban one, which you do, looks identical to the rural one. Okay, but please, I don't care if you've been to the seaside or your auntie owns a farm. You're going to answer question 9 and question 10. Going back to the section A and section B, obviously you answer all of it, but it's a little bit more, I think, disjointed than perhaps the first exam paper. In section A, there is like a little bit on UK physical. There is a little bit on coasts, you know, 8 marks, 6 marks. There's a little bit on rivers, and then they do an 8-mark investigation of a physical issue. I know we spent so much time going over the content of rivers and coasts because there was tons in it, and all you get asked are very short mark questions. Human geography, which is section 5, is almost very similar. There'll be short questions, multi-choice, bit of numeracy, 1 mark, 2 mark, 4 marks on cities and on UK human overall, and then they'll do an 8-mark question. So it is a little bit disjointed, I think, probably not particularly well written, if I'm going to be honest, because there should be balance between the sections, but that's just me. Answer all of section A and B, question 8, question 9. Paper is out of 94, just like before, and again, as we said with the first component, it is positive marking. Do not cross anything out. If you think you've answered it wrong, or you think you're going to write a different response, just leave it. They have to mark all of it. There will be numeracy, there will be resources, so the same rules apply. Show your working out, show the resource, and for goodness sake, it says there, do not write in this area. That means do not write in this area. Okay, that's number 1 done.